Sometimes I think I live in a parallel world compared with the state and federal politicians who combined seem intent on driving more households into oblivion in an attempt to keep those home prices pumping ever higher. This despite the obvious disconnect between prices and affordability and the link between inflated money supply versus debt and home prices, as I discussed yesterday. It's worth remembering that high migration continues to stoke demand for property, while governments continue to announce schemes to drive home prices ever higher by, quote, assisting first-time buyers to enter the market. Funny how these announcements appear to bloom around the time of elections. But the excellent Productivity Commission reports, including the 2004 publication First Home Ownership and more recent outings, highlights that fueling first home buyer demand with government support was counterproductive. It is not typically home buyers who benefit from the assistance, it's the sellers who receive a higher sell price, the report said. What this means is that assisting home buyers can make housing less affordable, particularly for people who do not qualify for assistance. In fact, the Productivity Commission's 2022 report on the subject went on to conclude that state and territory governments should phase out assistance or at least make it more targeted. Yet, this week, we got the Tasmanian version of this stupidity as Tasmanian Premier Jeremy Rockcliffe announced that his government would provide a $30,000 grant for first home buyers to build their first home. And he also noted on X that we're also going to expand our 2% deposit scheme. And if you qualify for the $30,000 grant, you should be able to use it to cover the 2% deposit. And then some. Now up in Queensland, under Christopher government's Boost to Buy program, eligible first home buyers will be able to access a state government-backed loan with just a 2% deposit, undercutting the Albanese government's 5% down scheme. So the question becomes, despite the stupidity, if I were an eligible first-time buyer, would I take the money and buy? Absolutely. It might be economically illiterate, but for the few who make it, these do offer a bridge to home ownership, even as it takes the Ponzi to new heights. This is, of course, all about politics. But just remember, price inflation may erode affordability gains ahead, so there's not a zero-sum game.